Hi there. In this video, I'll show you how you can save web page changes onto Google Sheets. For this, you'll need to use Distill's webhook call while configuring alerts for your monitor. Webhooks help one web application provide another application with real-time information. And in your case, they will help transfer changes tracked from Distill onto Google Sheets. In this video, we will look at two steps. The first step where we learn how to create a spreadsheet web app to accept data from Distill. And the second half where we'll understand how to send that updated content from Distill onto Google Sheets. To begin with, I'd like to show you how webhook calls work. So I'll go over to my watch list here. I have a very basic monitor setup. It's tracking timeanddate.com for the time field and making checks every 1 minute. Now, I'll go to a public URL here and generate a test event, and I'll copy this endpoint URL. This is the one that I'm going to be adding to my webhook call for the monitor. I'll go to the watch list, click on the caret icon, and here it allows me to add action. So when I click the add action drop down, I will choose webhook call as my alert mode and paste the URL that I copied from the public domain and go ahead and save that action and run my monitor. So Distill sends over fields that are returned as a part of the webhook. Let's take a look at the public URL to see what are the fields that it returned. So here you can see that it returned the ID of the monitor, the name, URI, and the text that it is tracking. So now that you saw how this works, let me go ahead and show you how you can do this with Google Sheets. Create any workbook, and you can even name your workbook. Here I've called it My Change History. You can add column headers here. I have chosen to add these, and then click on extensions and click on app script. In my case, I will be using a pre-written script, which I found on Distill blog on how to save web page changes onto Google Sheets. There's a ready-made script here, which I found very handy, and this is the one that I'm going to be using. I'll drop a link to this blog in the description below so that you can have a look at it in detail. So I've copied this script. I'll go over to my app script and paste it. Let's take a look at the script a little more. Here you can see that they've provided a provision where you can add the Google Sheet ID where you want to populate the data. So you will find that here in the URL of your Google Sheet. It's a string of numbers and alphabets. It's generally before the /edit. Go ahead and copy this string and place it here within the double quotes. They've even asked to add a sheet name. This is the sheet where you want to populate the data. In my case, it will be sheet 1. So let me go ahead and key that in. It appends the row with the following parameters. So let me also choose to track the URI. So I'll go ahead and add that params.uri. Let me name my script to Distill alerts to sheets. All right, now I'll click on deploy and choose new deployment. In this new deployment pop-up, choose web app to be configured. And here for access, you'll have to choose anyone and click on deploy. At this point, you should see another pop-up where you'll have to allow access. I've done that prior to recording this video. So if you do see a pop-up which requests access, go ahead and click allow. Now, like I did before in the previous example where I copied the URL, this is a similar web app URL that has been generated. So I'll go ahead and copy it. I click on done and head over to my watch list where I'm going to add this to my monitor. I'll go ahead and click on edit options, and here I will click on add action, click webhook call, and paste the URL of the deployment that I had just done. And I click on options to show you what are the fields available. I'd like to track an additional field called timestamp, so I'll go ahead and add that here. This is just to show you how it works. All right, this is good. Now you can see that this one is just tracking these four, but however, this one is tracking timestamp. Let me go ahead and add timestamp to this one as well. Okay, so far the options page configurations look good. I'll go ahead and save the monitor and run it. It's started to check for changes. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Google Sheets. I ran it twice, so you can see that it has recorded all of those entries line by line. And you should also see that new post requests have come up, and you can see that additional field that I added is also being returned. So there you have it, how you can use webhook calls to store changes onto your Google Sheets. I hope you find this video useful.